Hi, and welcome to another Mac Tips Weekly video. Today we're going to be looking at messages in macOS Big Sur. Messages in Big Sur has seen a lot of big improvements, and we just want to cover a couple of them to make your life using it even better. First big thing you can see is looking at the interface. There's some big changes to the sidebar. If you have an iOS device and you've upgraded to iOS 14, you should notice a lot of similarities here between messages on Big Sur and messages on iOS. That was done on purpose to make the interaction between the two much more seamless and just make it a better user experience. The first thing you'll notice is the pinned conversations. That's a really big help if there's just a few people that you talk to on a regular basis. That doesn't mean they have to be there forever though. So adding and removing these pinned conversations is as easy as right-clicking on a conversation and selecting pin. Now you can see that conversation is up here. When I'm tired of it being there, I can right-click and unpin. Speaking of that sidebar, if you drag it over, you can see now that you go into a compact view. As long as you're using pictures for your contacts, this makes it very easy and saves a lot of space, especially if you're using a smaller screen. Going over to preferences for messages, there's a few things here to talk about too that are pretty important. The first, and this comes turned off by default, which is why we're showing it, is enable messages in iCloud. For a little while now, we've been able to share iMessages between iOS devices and Mac devices, and everything you're signed into could see them. While great, that really limited the ability to share those text messages from device to device. By using this little checkbox here, every single message you get, whether it's a text message, an iMessage, whatever, they'll sync across to every device. That's a really big help for keeping your sanity when you're talking to people. It really helps you to not be stuck to your phone while you're sitting at your computer or having to go to the computer to send a message. Very big help, very useful. If we go over to general, one big feature here is share name and photo. What that does is literally shares your name and photo with the people you communicate with. You can choose to do it always or contacts only. And when I say always, I mean it will ask you every time, would you like to share your info with this person? I prefer always ask just because there may be somebody that isn't in my contact list that I want to share that info with. Last thing, and this is a feature that's been here for a few iterations of messages on macOS, but since we're in here, it's great to look at now. Under keep messages, you have three options: 30 days, 1 year, or forever. What that means is how long those messages will stay in your list. I generally choose forever, that's what comes by default, but if you're a very private person, you could select 30 days or 1 year, and those messages will self-destruct. Mind you, that's the messages on your device, that's not your messages on somebody else's. So even though it deletes from your device, they still have it if they have theirs set to forever. Going back to the interface, the last major feature we want to look at is search. Search has been greatly improved in macOS Big Sur for messages. Instead of it just finding every instance of a word specifically, it's now far more robust. Meaning, if we're looking for that thing that we told someone to buy, we now see all the conversations where that exact word shows up. If we click show more, you're going to see where that word may be a part of something else. For instance, buying, buyer, buys. It's just a little more fuzzy logic to find what you're looking for. But I have found personally that the show more when I do searches isn't really necessary. This show less option really tends to get me what I'm looking for. Last quick note, this again isn't something brand new for macOS and Big Sur, but it's something worth mentioning. If you look down here, you click this little applications button, you can see photos, emoji stickers, images, and message effects. You can now add all of those to your messages along with the standard emojis right from your Mac. So the messaging experience on iOS and in the Mac is very, very seamless. I guess last thing worth mentioning is the icon. You can see all the icons in Big Sur are made to resemble their iOS counterparts. Some people love it, some hate it. Personally, really love the clean view of all of this, the transparency, how the menu bar works, how the icons look. I'm a big fan, some people aren't, but I'm also a fan of consistency, and it works between all of my devices, and it's what I expect. That's also helping me teach my father how to use these devices, because the icon's the same, the functionality is the same, so you learn one, you learn all of them. It's just another way that Apple is trying to make their systems as easy to use with that robustness hidden, just one layer down, so those of us that want that more intense experience and to customize things more, we could still do it without scaring the people who might not know as much. That's all for messages in macOS Big Sur. I hope you like this. I hope you learned something interesting. If you did, please subscribe, like, share. I'm going to be putting these videos out, as the Mac Tips Weekly name suggests, weekly. But along with these, there will also be deep dives that will be only for my patrons. So if you'd like to get on that and to help support my ability to make more videos and to make more content, check out the link in the description below on how to be a part of that for as little as $1 a month. So I hope you learned something. Get out there, enjoy your Mac, and don't forget to Mac on.